Hello and welcome back to another Welcome Center YouTube video. It's tour guide Jeremiah here, joining you from the quarantine hotel offered by Pace University to talk to you about balling on a budget. I was going to write out a list of tips and tricks and places and all of these great life hacks to help you ball on a budget, not only in New York City but also at Pace University as a student. But then I thought, let me just have a normal conversation to you guys through the lens about how because I am the definition of balling on a budget, which is why I've been selected to do this video. I definitely can give you guys the advice without having to come across as reading a textbook. So the first thing that is not going to sound like it's connected, but it absolutely is get sleep. What I mean by this is a lot of college students forget to just operate on normal hours and go to sleep at a reasonable hour and wake up at an early morning hour or just the morning in general. When you go to sleep at night, you're not as likely to go spend as money staying up till 2 a.m. going out into the city with friends every day. You're not as hungry if you're sleeping, especially if you don't stay up after eating dinner for a really long time and then get hungry again late at night. You often find yourself going out to purchase more food or having food purchased in your dorm room already in anticipation for you being hungry late at night. Just go to sleep. You'll be surprised by going to sleep at 11 or midnight or even 10 p.m. and then waking up at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. for class and how much money that sleep will save you. But the second thing, the actual way to save money, is to know the good spots on where to spend it. So there's 3 places I'm going to recommend to you guys that are all within a nearby walking distance of each other. One of them is called Lot Less Closeouts. And it's one of these discount stores in New York City, which is a steal for college students in Manhattan especially. New York City is expensive. We all know this. We chose a school that's expensive, and we also chose a city that's even more expensive. So when looking at stores to buy everyday products, just go to the ones that are cheaper. There is no shame in saving money. It allows you to spend money on more expensive things where you want to, rather than spending $8 for toilet tissue. So go to Lot Less Closeouts. They have a lot of deals, and there's multiple of them. They're actually a franchise in New York City. So if one of them nearby doesn't have something you're looking for, the layout of different Lot Less Closeouts is a lot different. So I've walked through multiples. They have clothes. It's almost like a Walmart, but a lot smaller. There are no Walmarts in New York City, and that's something else I had to adjust to as well. Not having my super mega store back in Texas. Like, there's just no Walmart in New York City. There's just Target and Trader Joe's, and those both start to add up. But the second place is called Dollar Store Deals or Dollar Store Discounts, and it's located right next to Joe's Pizza on the walkway to 182 Broadway. So there's this street that leads straight to the university, and then on this street you will always see Pace students walking. You'll notice by their Pace gear, or if you go to Pace long enough, you'll recognize their faces, or if you make a lot of friends, they'll start yelling and saying, "Hey, it's you," while on the street. And so on this street, there's a lot of fast food restaurants and just a lot of places that a lot of Pace students stop in. But one of them that is criminally underrated is Dollar Store Discounts. That store, especially during the pandemic, had tons of soap, tons of hand sanitizer. People were walking in buying gloves. Like, there was so many things still on the shelves. Canned food, toilet tissue, and I'm talking about when there was a shortage, especially in New York City. So Dollar Store Discounts is another option that has a lot of cheaper versions of the same products you get at Target or Trader Joe's, and the same exact items for lower prices. So it's not like you're just getting the generic version of something you want, like Doritos and then generic Doritos. No, they have Doritos just at a cheaper price. So that's also a place I recommend. And then the third place I recommend is right next to 55 John Street, and I think it's called GRX Superstore. I'll insert an image of it here. It's this place that closes a bit early, but it has some of the cheapest finds. Literally bags of chips for 49 cents, Gatorades for 99 cents, candy, chocolate, phone cases, gloves. It's like a little knick-knack store, maybe like a dollar store wherever you're from, or a Five Below, which is something I was familiar with. This store, GRX Superstore, first off, has great employees. They're pretty funny. And they always have something new out in the front, like a seasonal item. I know I bought my New York City lime green beanie from GRX Superstore. So going to these discount stores, especially right here in Lower Manhattan, is going to save you a lot of money. But the next thing I'd say, use your meal plan. I can't stress this enough. There'll be days when you'll have time and enough people in their schedules will plan a day out in New York City to go thrift shopping in Brooklyn when Broadway opens, to go see a Broadway show, or to just go hang out in Central Park for a few hours. But while you're there, you end up getting hungry, and then you end up buying food. But instead of doing that, the easiest way to save money is to eat food and make it a priority to eat food at CAF 101 with your friends. Make it something that's not like, oh, I don't want to go to the CAF, because the CAF food is good. I'm from New Orleans, the flavor capital of the United States. I grew up in Houston, where portion sizes are much bigger and food is really tasty. And when I came to New York City, I knew there'd be a diverse array of food options, and that my school cafeteria would probably be the last place I'd think to go. But I was wrong. It has reliably good and consistent options, so I recommend you make sure you make an effort with your friends before and after, or leave early to come back to the CAF to get food. I know it'll be fun, and at certain points, go out and shop and go find places in New York City. Go live a little. But we're talking about balling on a budget. And in New York City, that will make or break your ability to stay here, especially after graduation. So make sure to use your CAF money, because you've already paid for it in tuition, and it rolls over every semester, so there's no reason not to. And an extension of that tip, I'd say, is to use your flex dollars, but not all at the beginning of the year. Even myself, even though I selected the plan with 325 flex dollars, which apparently was adventurous for a freshman, everyone else starts with a base plan of 55 flex dollars. And these are dollars through your meal plan you can go use at other places nearby. You can go use at Rosella's Pizza, which is great, at Chipotle, which is reliable, at CVS, which is a necessity. And these places through your flex dollars make sure you don't have to go and use your own cash or money you don't even have. Like, you're literally, sometimes like, I have $0, I would starve. And in that circumstance, use your flex dollars sparingly and use them accordingly, because it's very important for you to save money. But like I mentioned earlier a little bit, and I didn't even realize, thrift shopping. A good thing to go do with friends, guys, girls, anyone really. It's not like a thing that only certain groups of people can do, or certain people with a certain amount of money can do, is go thrift shopping. Go over to Brooklyn. I like walking over the Brooklyn Bridge just because we are so close. And if you're not from New York City, and even if you are, that's an iconic structure, and I'd really recommend just taking advantage of you out of the billions of people in the world being right next to it. So either take the subway or walk the bridge, go to Brooklyn, go thrift shopping, and you can find some really good steals. Literally steals. I have a leather jacket I got from a thrift store for $27, and my friends make fun of me for how many times I wear that leather jacket. But some people, especially people who aren't my friends, always ask, but where'd you get that jacket? For real though. Because everyone would be laughing, and I'd be like, I got it for $27. So thrift shopping is a great way to save money, find vintage or unique items, and start making your own style. Because in New York City, there are a faction of people who care about designer, who want to make sure you're always eating out at a steakhouse, who want to go to parties where it's $35 to get in. But then there's the rest of New York City, who sometimes likes the idea of that, but otherwise is fiscally responsible with their money. And they make sure they go thrift shopping if they can't afford to go to the designer store all the time, or just to the regular stores like Century 21 and H&M. So I hope these were some tips to help you guys out. I was gonna make sure this video was super highly edited, and I did edit a whole video talking about this, but then I scrapped it because I was like, it's so inauthentic. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips. You know, use your meal plan. Go to sleep. That is such an underrated tip that you're not going to hear when most people are telling you about managing your money. It's really about managing your time and when you eat, and you won't have to spend as much money on food, and you can spend it on other things. But then those discount stores to help you save some money as well. Thrift shopping when it comes to clothes. Take advantage of all things Pace. Pace has a ton of free food at clubs and organizations, events. I know a lot of things will be virtual this time around, but always peek your head in to see if you see food laid out, because not only would you be able to walk away with a free meal or a snack, you might be interested in a club or meet a lifelong friend, like I have met several. So hope you guys enjoyed this video from the New York City Welcome Center. Once again, tour guide Jeremiah here. You can follow me on Instagram at JWGreatness, which is on screen, and I'll see you in the next one.